So much of gardening today feels like it depends on bags of fertilizer, chemical inputs, and expensive soil conditioners. Yet for centuries, farmers relied on humble ingredients to keep their soil alive and fertile. One of the most powerful secrets came from barley, not the beer in your glass, but the straw, husks, and residues left behind after harvest. Old farming communities discovered that when barley byproducts were returned to the earth, the soil didn't just get richer, it came alive with worms, and the color darkened into the kind of fertile loam that still makes gardeners envious today. The question is, does this forgotten barley trick really work, and can modern gardeners use it to revive tired beds and get bigger worms and healthier soil faster than with store-bought amendments? Let's dig in and uncover the science and the practice behind this ancient soil-building secret. In traditional farming systems across Europe, barley was one of the most widely grown grains. It wasn't just food for people or feed for animals, it was a crop that gave back to the land in surprising ways. After threshing the grain, farmers were left with huge amounts of straw. Instead of throwing it away, they used it as bedding for animals, mulch for gardens, and most importantly, a slow-release soil amendment. Barley straw has a unique structure rich in cellulose, lignin, and trace minerals absorbed during its growth. When it breaks down in the soil, it creates a long-lasting source of carbon. Unlike quick-rotting green matter, barley straw decomposes slowly, meaning it provides a steady buffet for microbes and earthworms over months, not just weeks. Worms are drawn to the partially decomposed straw as microbes coat it with biofilms and begin the breakdown process. This was their insurance policy against soil exhaustion, a way of restoring fertility without synthetic fertilizer. If you've ever tossed green grass clippings into a pile, you know how fast they heat up and vanish. Barley straw is the opposite. It is fibrous, light, and resists fast decay. The magic happens when it's combined with soil microbes and a little nitrogen source, such as animal manure, compost, or even kitchen waste. As the straw breaks down, it doesn't just release nutrients directly, it transforms the soil habitat. Its structure creates tiny pockets of air, improving soil aeration in heavy clay. It acts like a sponge holding water in sandy soils. Most importantly, it provides the stable carbon framework that fungi and worms need to thrive. Earthworms in particular are attracted not to the raw straw itself, but to the fungal hyphae and bacterial colonies that colonize it. In this indirect way, barley feeds worms while slowly enriching soil with organic matter that deepens into dark, crumbly humus. One of the forgotten observations of early farmers was that worms seemed to grow larger in soils amended with barley residues compared to plots where straw wasn't added. Modern soil science confirms why. Worms thrive in environments where there is both a carbon source and microbial life to feed on. Barley straw decomposes slowly enough that the food web stays active for months, providing a continuous supply of microbes for worms to consume. The slow and steady breakdown also prevents sudden surges of ammonia or acidity, which can harm worms. Instead, worms move through the soil, consuming the microbial-rich straw particles and excreting worm castings that further darken the soil. Farmers didn't need modern soil tests to know it was working. They could see the earthworm populations surge, and they measured soil health by the size and number of worms unearthed in their fields. Straw wasn't the only byproduct of barley that helped the soil. Husks, the protective shells around the grain, were often incorporated into compost piles or directly into fields. These husks decompose faster than straw but still deliver carbon and trace minerals. They were also less bulky, making them easier to spread. Even today, breweries and distilleries that use barley produce spent grain, the leftovers after brewing beer or whiskey. Spent grain has more protein and nitrogen than straw, making it an excellent booster for microbial activity. When combined with straw, it created the perfect balance of fast nitrogen and slow carbon, fueling decomposition and soil life simultaneously. For gardeners today, sourcing barley husks or spent grain from a local brewery can be an incredible way to replicate this old farming wisdom. While barley straw can transform soil, there is a right and wrong way to use it. Adding large amounts of straw without any nitrogen source can temporarily tie up nitrogen, leaving plants hungry. This was something farmers knew instinctively, which is why they often paired straw with manure bedding or compost before spreading it. For gardeners, the best approach is to use barley straw as mulch on the surface of garden beds where it slowly breaks down and feeds soil life, or to layer it with green materials like kitchen scraps, grass clippings, or manure. In raised beds or compacted soils, incorporating chopped straw directly into the soil in fall allows winter microbes and worms to do their work, leaving the bed looser, darker, and more fertile by spring. When farmers described their soil turning darker after seasons of using barley straw, they were describing the natural accumulation of humus. Dark soil isn't just cosmetic, it indicates high organic matter content, better nutrient exchange, and improved water-holding capacity. Alright, so let's dive into this. In every way, this is the soil gardeners want: alive, balanced, and fertile. It's the dream, isn't it? Now let's talk about barley. Barley, in its simplest form, acted as the bridge between harvest and fertility, ensuring that land could produce year after year without collapse. It's a kind of magic, really. You know, the old farmers didn't stumble onto this by chance. They passed it down because it worked. In today's world of chemical quick fixes, returning to these forgotten practices offers a powerful, natural alternative. It's like rediscovering a hidden treasure. Barley straw and byproducts are inexpensive, often discarded, and widely available. Yet they provide a steady path toward healthier soils, bigger worms, and darker, humus-rich beds that can sustain crops without constant fertilizer inputs. For anyone working with clay soils, sandy beds, or tired garden plots, this barley method offers an ancient, proven solution. Bigger worms and darker soil aren't just signs of success, they are the legacy of farmers who understood that soil needed to be fed with the same care as their families. And barley, in all its humble forms, was one of the keys that made it possible. If you found this forgotten soil building method as fascinating and practical as we did, don't let the knowledge disappear again. Try it in your garden, observe the results, and pass it on. And before you leave, make sure to subscribe to Soil and Plant Doctor and share this guide with fellow gardeners who care about soil health as much as you do. The old secrets still work today, sometimes better than ever.